Hi everybody, this is Albert again. Okay, today I'm going to talk about the combining sentences. Okay, so this question consists of the 5% of the whole writing questions. It's like 2 questions per each test. Okay, you normally deal with the 2 questions per each test, but even 3 questions. Like 2016 November, there were 3 questions related to this combining sentences. The question type is very simple, okay? So let's look at the question type here. Look at this. The question is always asking you which choice most effectively combines 2 sentences at the underlined portion. It's simple, right? And you will face with the 2 types of question type. First question type is like what? Partly underlined. Let's look at here's the original sentence. Whole sentence is not underlined, only part of this sentence. The summary, this follows, underline, okay? Or you may face with those whole underlined sentences, okay? So most of the case, you face with this kind of questions, all right? So before we start to dealing with those kind of questions, I want to talk about the combining sentence, okay? What kind of strategy should be used to combine those 2 sentences? I'm not gonna get into the details because what? I already explained in the grammar and usage sections, especially sentence structure. So if you don't remember the details, please go back to my original class and check my sentence structure, okay? However, I will explain what you needed to deal with those questions. How to combine those questions? First of all, use a participle phrase to combine sentences. Why did I choose this one as first? Because this is most commonly appeared in the test, okay? Let's look at it today. Students often see the complex ideas of philosophy as useless. They don't know, okay? So we underlined useless and the following subject and verb. So the participle's main purpose as a combining sentences is what? The simultaneous action, okay? The common subject, their actions, they have 2 simultaneous actions. We normally use the participle phrase, just like this, okay? How we combine those sentences? Here, we have the same subject, right? So just eliminate the subject, and then what? To change this verb form into the participle phrase. So useless and knowing. Simply by saying this, you may combine those 2 sentences. Very simple, right? If you know the purpose of the participle, then you know this one, okay? And what about the preposition? We also use the preposition to combine sentences. How? Just like this. John finished his assignment. Jane helped him. Okay, so do we have any common part? Yes, John, right? However, this is too far to each other. So we just cannot use the adjective conjunctions. And look at the meaning of sentence. Finished his assignment. How? Yes, with Jane's help, right? So let's change this one sentence like this. John finished his assignment with the help of Jane, okay? So by using the prepositional phrase, you also create the combined sentences, okay? And next one. Another case is about the use of conjunctions. Conjunction is, of course, conjunction's purpose is to combine 2 sentences, right? So this is simple. So we have 2 conjunctions, coordinate conjunctions and subordinate conjunctions. You don't know? Okay, please check my previous video. I explain in detail about the coordinate conjunction and subordinate conjunction. So simply fanboys. And but also for nor. It is coordinate conjunction. Everything else is subordinate conjunction. So how we combine those 2 sentences? Albert has decided to start high-fat diet. The reason is that he wants to lose weight. So we simply use what? The coordinate conjunctions. Our diet, what? Diet, because subordinate conjunction. Because what is the reason? Okay? Because he wants to. So you have to choose this sentence as the answer choice. Okay? Hey, let's look at the positives. What is a positive? This is noun phrase. noun phrase and equal to another noun. And this noun phrase describes another noun. Let's look at the sentence. Albert is the only SAT teacher in the area, and he has a high reputation for raising student scores dramatically. This is actually so true, okay? So we combine those two sentences. How? We have two common facts, Albert and Albert, okay? So just simply get rid of this Albert and this noun phrase as a positive, and so the only SAT teacher in the area, Albert, has a high reputation. So simply we combine those two sentences by using what? The positives. Normally when the sentence is located before, the noun phrase is located before the sentence, then normally what? We use the positive form, okay? Then let's look at another form here. Link verbs with and. Previously, we watched what? The coordinate conjunction, okay? So you combine two sentences by using coordinate conjunctions. That's true. However, link with the verbs with and is a little bit different because we more focus on the verbs. Okay? If two sentences have common subject, normally what? We just removed the second subject and combine those two verbs with the and. So people studying in the library were talking to each other for an hour, for a few hours. This happens all the time in the States, okay? I asked them, please be quiet, please turn your voice down, but they don't listen to it. They would not stop talking even after the clock. Actually, it was me, okay? Advised to stop. So here you go. How I combine this one? Yes, people studying in the library were talking to each other for a few hours because this is chronological order. This one and this one. Then you may use the and. Or else, the idea of using and is not such a good idea, okay? However, in this case, it's okay. People blah, 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 hours. And what? Because we have two verbs, right? We're talking and, would not stop talking. So you simply combine two verbs and eliminate the sentence completion, right? Good. Let's look at the relative clause. You know what the relative clause means, right? The who, which, and that. We, of course, use that one because if one sentence modifies the other sentence's part, especially the noun part, okay, then we use relative clause, just like this. Albert bought his students a computer. The computer was much more expensive than he expected. Why did I buy a computer for my students? I don't know. Maybe the students got a perfect score on SAT. Okay, the score is the most important in my life. Yeah, who knows? I don't know. Anyway, I bought a computer with no reason, okay? So the computer is explained, right? So we have one noun here, and the second sentence simply explain the noun previously mentioned, right? So this is the role of the second sentence is describe and modify. So we may use this one to change this one like this, okay? So blah blah, a computer. Since this is the what? Yes, the thing. So you cannot use the who or whom, right? Simply who or, no, I'm sorry, which or that, right? So do we have to use comma here or not? Do we know what kind of computer did I buy for the students? So it is additional information or the essential information. Yes, it must be essential information. Yeah, to find out which computer I bought for my students, right? So we don't use what? The comma, and you may use both of them, but which one is preferable? That. That was much blah blah. Okay? So we may use those adjective conjunction to combine those sentences. Okay, different from the grammatical questions, okay? Grammar and usage questions previously I mentioned in the previous lecture, okay? This one can be appear on the test, both of them. They're not going to ask you which one is a better choice. this time they just ask you how to combine those two sentences. Okay, so this is different process. Right? Good. So let's look at another one, the last one, the use on infinitive. Okay, you normally use infinitive what to express the purpose. Okay, I went to school. Why do you went to school? Why did you go to school? I went to school because I want to study. I'm sorry, I want to play. Or I want to see my girlfriend, or you want to see your boyfriend, right? So you went to school to blah, blah, blah. So I ran home happily. Why on earth I went home? Okay, Albert would tell his mom that he had won the lottery. Yeah! Here we go. So he wanted to say what? Say, Mom, I won the lottery, okay? I'm leaving. It's a bastard, right? So L ran home happily, what? To tell his mom that he won the lottery. Simply by using infinitive. Incorporate infinitive here, you may combine those two sentences. So we have several ways to combine those two sentences, okay? Those are the techniques to combine those sentences. And you might use, not only for this test, but only to use your own essays or any writing competition. However, are these the most important thing to deal with the questions? No, it's not really important thing. Okay, these are the important steps, okay, to combine those two sentences. That's good. If you understand this one, yeah, you will have advantages to deal with the questions. That's true. However, you have more important things to memorize it. Let's find out. That's Albert's tip for you. Let's find out the first tip. Tip for participle phrase. I already mentioned that we use participle phrase, what? To describe the previous sentence, right? The or simultaneous action. So then how do you find? This one is related to the participle. This one is about what? Using participle phrase to combine those two sentences. Let's see. Our tips 1. Subject are the pronouns, okay? Especially this, they, or the subject of the what? Second sentence, not the first sentence, okay? And the only subject and verbs of the second sentence are underlined. So the first subject, second sentence of subject of second sentence is pronoun or pronoun verbs plus noun, just like these people, and the subject and the verb of the second sentence are underlined. Normally, we use participle phrase. So far, almost every question. So if you know this drill, it's easy. Let's look at the questions. Okay, here. Boston, Gazette, whatever. Okay, here. What's the subject of the second sentence? This newspaper. Pronoun plus noun, right? And the verb. Underlined part is what? Not only subject, but also verb, right? So in this case, you have to check what? Participle phrase. Let's look at the questions. Forget about this question, okay? Look. Blah, blah, blah. Aha, here you go. Well, answer choices remain, right? So you may simply find the answers without thinking about other complicated stuff. Okay? Why? Why does this happen? Because when they create the questions, they normally ask you to what? Deal with those pronouns. Because we don't repeat the pronoun to indicate the previous noun. And to combine those two sentences, normally eliminate the pronoun. So that's why I'm saying that. And also what? It's underlined to the what? The verb part. Okay, if we eliminate the subject, can you just remain the verb like that? No. Without subject, what on earth? You may leave the verb here, right? We have to change the verb form into the what? The participle, right? So verb into the adjective. That's why the participle is always there. This is a typical form, okay? Especially shortly underlined questions, just like this. 80% of question is related to the participle, and most of them you should simply find participle right after then comma. Okay? Good. Easy, right? Okay, let's find out another one. The second tips, okay? Let's look at here. If only the subject of second sentence is underlined, think of using adjective or process of elimination. Oh. So this time, what's the difference between this one and previous one? Yes, this time only the subject is underlined, not whole subject and verb. Okay, those are different, okay? So let's look at the question. People still had to have a certain amount of work to travel physically outside of their hometowns. Hey, not verb. Only what? Subject is underlined. Okay, and what are these hometowns? These they. Yes, hometowns, right? So simply describe this one, we use what? Thanks. Let's use the adjective conjunctions. So they, no, and these, theirs, whose? The hometowns? Were, no, right? And with what? Prepositional phrase. I told you when you use the prepositional phrase, it must be what? So it's the purpose or any other sort of method, those kind of concepts, okay? And hometowns, which simply describes hometowns. So this is the answer. Then what is the process of elimination here? Oh, okay. This is very important concept, okay? If you know the elimination process of eliminations, then you can simply deal with the answer choices, not with the whole passage or the question itself. So let's find out what is the process of elimination. Especially when you deal with the what? Long sentence, just like this. Okay, else tip 3. Don't be intimidated by the length of the given questions or the underlying part. Normally, the longer, the easier. What does that mean? We previously watched the two question type Y. Partly underlined question and the whole sentences are underlined. Whole 2 sentences. So it is so long. And when you see it in the middle of the test, oh my God. Well, I don't know, this question is so long. Okay, that's actually the longest question among the answers, among the question types, okay? So you are just intimidated and then frustrated. Oh, because it's a headache, but it's not, okay? The longer, actually, it is easier. Let's find out. So, okay, before we find out the question, deal with the question, let's find out the process, how to deal with the answer choices. Because what? The answer is so long. Then do we have to think about the logic floors all the time? No, right? So what should we think about? These are the ones. Elimination process. Okay, let's find out the wrong answers and eliminate them. Then what? We can have only right answer choices. First, try to find the grammatical or punctuation errors. Okay, always. The longer the question, the more often they contain what? Grammatical error, especially the punctuation error, because those are related to the what? Combining 2 sentences. Then they normally used unnecessary conjunction or unnecessary punctuation. Remember that the semicolon and colon and dash can be used as replace of the conjunctions, right? So if you use conjunction and match the punctuation like a semicolon all together, you use 2 conjunctions with 2 sentences and too many conjunctions. So that's automatically wrong. Okay, don't forget about this one. Find the grammatical error. And secondly, the less pronouns, the better. Especially this, they, yes, those kind of things. So if the answer choice contain the pronouns, normally, yes, that's wrong. Forget about that. Because what? The purpose of this question is what? Eliminate this unnecessary pronoun and combine 2 sentences effectively. Right? So must ignore those pronouns okay? And third, parastructure error, especially subject. What does that mean? Okay, we combine two sentences by using punctuation or the conjunction. Then what? Yes, the first subject of the first sentence must be parastructure to the second sentence. Most case. So it could be clue. I cannot say that's absolutely always fine, right? Okay, but most case, okay, those two subjects are to match to each other. I'm talking about what? My computer in the first subject. What I'm talking about my students in the second subject. Do you want to compare my students to computer? Which one is more important? Of course, my computer. I'm sorry, my students, right? So parastructure. We're gonna go over this one, okay, sooner or later. And don't change the original meaning of the given sentence. A lot of answer choices are very attractive. However, they just change the meaning, okay? This one is a content-based question, and always what? Don't change the original meaning of sentence. If the sentence is given to you, you have to stick with the original meaning. Even if how much it is attractive, it doesn't matter. If it altered the meaning of the original sentence, right? Then what? Just forget about it. Eliminate it. Okay? I'm gonna look this one to a little bit detail in a later question. Okay? And check repeated words or redundancy. Okay? This happens all the time because they used unnecessary expression repeatedly. Okay? You know that I already covered this one in the previous grammar and usage part, right? Yes. And which expressions are considered as a repeated expression or redundant expression. Okay? So those redundant expressions appeared on the combined sentence. You just simply, yes, eliminate it. Then there is the same expression among the answer choices. Trust me, they're always. Okay? And avoid the passive voice. This is the same. We like active voice. I don't want to be kicked by Albert. I want to kick Albert, right? So always try to find answer with the active voice. Sometimes remaining answer choices are all passive voice. Then forget about this voice. However, if there are two answer choices, one with the active voice, one with the passive voice, always what? Choose active voice. Of course, you have to do it, right? And after checking all these requirements, okay, we have some process. But still we have two answer choices remained normally, right? I checked everything I know, but still to have two choices. And I don't know what to deal with it. How to deal with it? Oh, I don't know what to do. Then what are you going to do? Yeah. And this is the tip. The shorter the better. Yes. I already talked about this one in the previous section. What? The first priority in SAT writing is clarity. But second priority is effectiveness. Which, in other words, the shorter the better. So if you really don't know the answer, not from the beginning, down, no. But when you eliminate some of these answer choices by using those eliminate process, then if there are remaining answers, right? Then if you don't know, really don't know, the shorter the better. However, I strongly encourage you, don't use this strategy. Just find out the answer by using those eliminate process, okay? Let's look at the question. All right, see you here. Oh, man. So whole sentences are underlined. So because of this space problem, I just using the longer space too. But normally this question is like related to 5 lines or 6 lines. Ooh, spooky. All right, here we have a period. Don't expect a no change question here. Okay, normally combining sentence question, we don't use the no change as answer choice. Okay, here you go. Wow, whoo, headache, right? So what did I say? What's the first step? Let's try to find grammatical error. Oh, here, I see what? Whereas the conjunction. Oh, so is there any possibility to use another conjunction? Yes, always like this. Okay, so here, do you see it? What? Semicolon. Aha. We have a semicolon, we have a conjunction by combine subject and verb and subject and verb. Two sentences. Too many, right? Just forget about this one. Hey, here we go. What about the second one? Swapping job is more blah blah instance of thing that you now, whereas one conjunctions and subject and verb. Oh, so basically, nothing's wrong with the grammar, right? Good. What about third one? Whereas, conjunction started, right? Blah, 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 blah. He just spent entire, we have the same problem, just like the answer choice A. So forget about this one. And D. Whereas, oh, this one starts with the conjunction too. Then you have a problem with the single, blah, blah, entire career with the single company. This time is different. They only use comma, not the semicolon. Okay, so conjunction, subject and verb, subordinate conjunction, comma, subject and verb is acceptable form, right? Okay, so we have two answer choices remain. What was the second process? The pronouns. Do we use the pronouns? Oh, those. Here we go. What about this one? The room, the norm. See that? Here, using the pronoun, it's not such a good idea, right? Okay, even if those is acceptable, still we have a process. What? We have to use the pair structure. Compare the, say, subject form, right? Here, subject is swapping jobs. Actually, swapping is the subject here. But here, the subject, those, what are those here? The workers. Those are not the pair structured, right? So that's why we have another reason can eliminate this one. And here, where is the summon versus normal person. Those two are perfectly matched to each other. And we don't have any pronoun, we don't have any grammatical error, then you should have D. I don't even look at the original sentence or I don't even look at the passage itself. You don't need to look at it, okay? Just focus on this question and try to find any grammatical or conjunction stuff. Then you can easily remove all wrong answers and only have this one. So look at this. Compared to answer choice B and D, which one is longer? This one is longer. So don't say short. The shorter the better. This time, it's not working. So that's why I say you have to be careful, right? But by using my elimination process, there'll be no problem, right? Okay, let's look at another question. Here, Americans get ready for the Thanksgiving party by preparing tables. They light candles, prepare turkeys, and arrange dishes on the table. Okay, yes, they normally do, right? During the Thanksgiving holidays. I normally teach the students during the Thanksgiving, but they enjoy their lives, right? So let's find out the answer choice. So which choice combine, okay? Oh, this is combined questions. First of all, do we have any grammatical error? When Americans get ready for the party by candles, prepare turkeys. Oh, yes, we have grammatical errors. We have a conjunctions, we have a punctuation together to combine two sentences. Oh my God. Go away, right? What about second sentence? Americans get ready for the Thanksgiving party to light the candles, prepared and arrange dishes on the rest. Looks like a grammatical, nothing's wrong with this one, right? What about third one? American subject and verb, get ready for the Thanksgiving party, for lighting candles, blah, 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 right? This is no problem, right? Grammatically, get ready for the Thanksgiving party by lighting candles, preparing cakes, and arranging dishes on the table. We have three answer choices. However, in this case, you have to check what? What's the difference between sentences? Here, they use infinitive. What did I say? When do we use infinitive? What? Purpose. Okay? Here, for plus ing. This one is also what? In the purpose. So, in the original sentence, they prepare, they doing their activity. The Americans' activity is what? The purpose of doing something, like preparing or the arranging dishes. Because of this, they get ready for the Thanksgiving. No, right? This is totally different from the original meaning. That's why I told you don't choose the sentence even if it's grammatically fine and it makes sense and it looks very effective. Because what? This is the shortest one. Still, it's different from the original meaning. So that's why you have to choose the D as answer choice. Okay, don't change the meaning of the original sentence. Always keep the original sentence meaning. Why? How they prepare it? By preparing those turkeys and lighting candles and arrange dishes, right? Okay, so that's how it works. And additionally, okay, the purpose-wise, infinitive versus for plus ing, I always go with infinitive. Yeah, we'll find out later. Anyway, so by using your eliminate process, you may simply get the right answer. Okay, so easy, right? So let's look at what we learned today. So I first talked about how we combine sentences. It seems like it's useless. No, it's not useless, okay? If you understand the combined sentence process, then what? You may easily understand why two sentences combined this way and what's wrong with this. So please, don't just ignore this process, okay? That's why I explained to you. And tips for the participle phrase, right? When do we use the participle and what kind of characteristics? You have to carefully pay attention to the sentence, right? To find the clue, right? The subject and verb of second sentence are underlined. Yeah, normally it happens, right? Okay, and the using adjective conjunctions. Only the subject is underlined. There's a huge possibility you use the adjective conjunctions. I talked about it, right? Good. And eliminate process. You can find grammatical punctuation error first, especially what? Relate to the punctuation and conjunctions, okay? The last pronouns is the answer choice contain the pronouns. Most case, it's not the answer. And parastructure error, especially subject. Two sentence structures must to be parallel to each other, meaning-wise too, right? And don't change the original meaning of the sentence. Don't change it. Your job is improving sentence structure, not changing or correcting logical error there. No questions like that, okay? And check repeated words or redundancy. And avoid passive voice. Active voice is good. And if you don't have any hope, using the shorter the better strategy. Okay? So this is all I covered today's lesson. I'll see you later.